Hello and welcome back to Newsroom Nigeria. This is where we give you hot, fresh and sizzling news all day long. If this is your first time here, you have not subscribed to this channel, what are you doing? Please go ahead and subscribe, like this video. Also leave your opinions in the comment section below as well. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has condemned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State. The PDP insists that Governor Siminalayi Fubara's suspension and the appointment of Vice Admiral Ibuket Ibas retired are illegal, describing it as an attack on democracy. The party warns that the president has no executive power to declare a state of emergency without National Assembly approval. The People's Democratic Party (PDP) has strongly condemned President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's declaration of a state of emergency in Rivers State, calling it an unconstitutional move aimed at undermining democracy. The party also rejected the suspension of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and the appointment of Vice Admiral Ibuket Ibas retired as administrator of the state. In a statement signed by PDP National Publicity Secretary Honorable Debo Ologunagba, the party described Tinubu's actions as a violation of the 1999 Constitution and an attempt at a state capture by the ruling All Progressive Congress. The PDP cautioned Vice Admiral Ibuket Ibas, retired, against assuming office, warning that any attempt to act on Tinubu's directive would be illegal and could lead to further instability. Nigeria is not under military rule, where the governance of a state is determined by appointment from a junta. The PDP, therefore, cautions Vice Admiral Ibuket Ibas, retired, to respect the Constitution and ensure that it does not take any action capable of derailing democratic governance in Rivers State, the party warned. The PDP maintained that the president has no constitutional authority to unilaterally impose a state of emergency and suspend a democratically elected governor without due process. The unconstitutional declaration by President Tinubu of a suspension of the democratically elected governor of Rivers State, Siminalayi Fubara, and appointment of an unelected individual is a clear attack on our nation's democracy, the statement reads. The party insisted that the move disregards the will of the people of Rivers State, who elected Fubara to serve a 4-year tenure, adding that the action borders on an attempt at state capture. Referencing Section 305 of the 1999 Constitution, the PDP argued that PDP lacks the authority to declare and enforce a state of emergency without the approval of the National Assembly. For the avoidance of doubt, Section 305, subsection 2, provides that the President shall immediately, after the publication, transmit copies of the official Gazette of a government of a federation containing the proclamation, including the details of the emergency, to the President of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives to consider the situation and decide whether or not to pass a resolution approving the proclamation. The statement continued. The party emphasized that the reasons cited by Tinubu for declaring the state of emergency were insufficient, further stating that the president's unilateral decision lacks constitutional backing. According to the PDP, the emergency rule in Rivers is part of a broader APC strategy to silence opposition voices and establish a one-party state. The imposition of emergency rule in Rivers State is part of a larger vicious plot to foist a siege mentality across Nigeria, decimate opposition, impose a totalitarian one-party state, and turn the country into a fiefdom, the party stated. PDP further alleged that the APC had been deliberately stoking crisis in Rivers State to create grounds for emergency rule and forcefully take control of the state. The party called on democratic institutions, Nigerians to reject Tinubu's move, insisting that Governor Fubara remains the legitimate leader of Rivers State. The situation in Rivers remains tense, with widespread reactions expected from political stakeholders, civil society groups, and legal experts on the unfolding constitutional crisis. The suspended governor, in a statement on Wednesday morning, March 19, insisted that he followed the rule of law in the political crisis that has been rocking the state barely 6 months after he resumed office on May 29, 2023. What are your thoughts? Let's have them in the comment section below. What do you all think of this? The PDP, who ought to have stepped in on this matter since its inception, has not done that. They have not stood behind fubara. They have not really played the role they ought to have played as the party that these two political heavyweights are from, both fubara and Wike. They have not played their role sufficiently. But now that the president has announced the state of emergency in the state, they are now coming out to talk. Please, what do you want to say when you have not sufficiently played the role you ought to have played concerning this crisis? Anyway, guys, before we go, let's take a look at some of the reactions we got online. The first comment comes from Julius Akini, who says, "The failed PDP is at it again. Go and lobby the National Assembly or go to court. The PDP is a remote cause of logjam in Rivers State. Thank you." Abel says, "And so, it must be a routine. They didn't tell Nigerians they want to continue from where PDP stopped. Please let us talk more reasonably." Francis Justin says, "Wike and Tinubu will never know peace. No one is powerful without God. Time is a very strong determinant. They shall see in return for undermining democracy. You have released the withheld allocation to the new inaugurated sole administrator and calculated the percentage you and Wike will be sharing from Rivers' internally generated revenue, right? Everything will come to pass. Wike, the candidate you chose to support as your favorite, is no longer a good person because he couldn't bear your evil." Charles Ozigbo says, "Definitely, Tinubu has ignorantly activated the possibility of military takeover by this singular act. Military did their own. You go invite them." Paul Olisa says, "Mr. President is incurring more enemies amidst the hardship inflicted on the masses with his own professional economic policies." Emma Jack says, "PDP is part of a problem. Wike has been running like a bull in the Chinese shop and no one called him to order. PDP seem incapacitated to even expel Wike. Now Wike has a resident by the balls and dictating national policies. He has even revoked PDP's building plots. He is coming at you from different angles. All you are doing is making noise." What are your thoughts and your opinions? Let's have them all in the comments section below. Thank you very much for always listening and watching, guys. I will see you all in my next video. Bye for now.